How goes the family? Welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. Hopefully you guys have been having a great day. Hopefully you saw my video previously for my word of the day. Today's video is definitely going to be on the personal note. Um, I did a video 2 years ago with my brother from another mother on his channel, and I just realized this is a 2 year anniversary, and it's been a bit of a reflection in regards to how life is now during the COVID-19 pandemic and how life was before then, and it makes you realize to not take you know definitely take advantage of what you have, to never to never just because it's one of those things you don't know what you got till it's gone situations, and being able to travel a little bit more frequently, without worrying about catching specific things, being able to engage with other people and whatnot, even more so before the stay-at-home time frames that we're in now. It makes you reflect, and then it's like goals and aspirations of what you've accomplished and whatnot in your life from a financial standpoint, from a business standpoint, and even a personal standpoint, where you were then, where you are now. And I have grown since then, because if you're not growing, you're just standing still, and you definitely don't want to be stand still. But obviously, I haven't peaked at the highest levels that I want to get to when it comes to living in certain areas and engaging with other people from a standpoint. I mean, you see in the background, one of my favorite cities in the United States, Los Angeles, California, very beautiful city. Love the palm trees by the ocean, the mountains, the different cultures, the whole nine. I love LA. And so 2 years ago, I just getting back from Los Angeles, and I was just like, yo, I'm definitely, this is home. This is it. You know what I mean? But life happens, things happen, and the thing back that the person that I was then is definitely, from a mindset perspective, is definitely different compared to who I am now. And basically, back then I was waiting on the right job. Now I'm waiting on the right opportunities to create my own economic empire. And that's just the difference between the guy then and now. And I appreciate that journey. And I appreciate the journey I'm going to continuously go on. Video's about an hour, so hey, hopefully you guys enjoy it. And I will have a little commentary afterwards and whatnot, because this is basically a reflection to who Larry's Anything Goes brand was just getting started back then, and to where we are now and whatnot, and where we're trying to go from a financial intelligence standpoint. We're trying to make money moves, not just for ourselves, but for everyone else that consumes the content, and everyone else that has a good positive spirit about them and whatnot. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you at the end. All right, take care.
Hey, how's everybody doing today? Yeah, taking a nice little walk and stuff. It's definitely hot out here. It's about like 95, 96 degrees right now at like 8 o'clock Central Time. So this past weekend, I actually had an interview with one of my brothers, Larry, talk about, his business, what he's doing, how he's progressing, what he got plans in the future, and what is like his end game. So we got that going on. I'm actually going to play that for you guys for the next few minutes. Also, big ups to the intelligent idea talkers, because if it wasn't for them, I probably wouldn't be doing this right now. Even though I wanted to do it, but I didn't have the courage, I should say. So these guys definitely helped me out with that. Also, same thing with Larry. He also got his video blogs on, his interviews, his podcast, all that stuff going on. So these guys definitely just helped me out to get going with it. So big ups to them as well. I definitely made a shout out to these guys in our interview as well. And thank goodness it's not bright out here anymore. I actually had some sunglasses, but I actually put them on and I broke them, so can't wear that. But without further ado, let's go ahead and start the video. Talk to y'all later. Peace. All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of Spread the Knowledge. This is Chris Edwards speaking, and right now I got a special friend. I actually consider him my brother. We've actually been we known each other for nearly 25 years, and before
Long time.
a very long time. But before I go to introduce say his name and everything like that, just gonna let you know that he actually helped me out with a lot of things, especially with my business getting going, everything. He has multiple businesses. He's actually has his own real estate business. He has his investment investments. He also uh, he also does travel. He loves to travel, so he actually got a travel agency going as well. So if you ever need anything from him when it comes to investments, you go see him. Need anything about traveling, you go see him. Need anything about real estate, especially what he got in store in the next few years. I know he got a lot of things going with it. You go see him. So without further ado, I want to talk to my friend, my brother, Mr. Larry Patterson. How you doing today, sir?
Hey, I'm doing wonderful, sir. Thank you for having me. It is always an honor and a pleasure to not only be on your show, but to just converse with you all at the same time.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like I just said, 25 years, man. We know each other. We go way back before The Rock was even wrestling.
And look at him now, who knew that he was going to become the major superstar that he is now.
It is true. He's the last action hero.
He literally is. Not only that, he's a very smart businessman all at the same time. So
That's true. But at the same time, we're also smart businessmen too. So we're actually doing our thing as well. So it's very exciting that we actually get a chance to talk about this. I know in a couple of my podcasts, I always want to say like I'm trying to bring people onto my platform just to not only talk about just business in general, but also just big up what you're doing. And you've been doing big things for years. You actually had the travel agency. You actually been telling me all the time, "Hey, you travel, you come see me, come see me." So, and I seen what your platform doing is very incredible. You just said you recently started doing real estate, everything. So that's definitely amazing. I'm always been proud of you on that. So,
I appreciate it.
so with that being said, let's get into it.
All right, let's rock and roll.
So first of all, it's very hard to start a business. You know it, I know it, but the people out there may not know it. So one of the questions I want to ask you is, what made you decide you want to start your own business?
Okay, so the main thing for me is that I wanted to start a business is number one, freedom. You know, I always quote Damon Dash, whether you love him or hate him, because I always say he's like half of a jerk, but half of an intelligent professional businessman all at the same time, and he knows that. So for anybody to say that, he knows who he is. He's comfortable with who he is. But freedom. When I don't care who you work for, you could be a VP at a company. There's all from a salary perspective and slash standpoint, you're going to tap out at some point, and your earnings are going to be capped out at one point, and you're not going to be able to earn more money. One, two. Even when you climb the quote unquote corporate ladder, and you know this because you worked in corporate America, in a sense, your life is taken away from you because you're spending half of your day at the office, especially once you climb the ladder. When you get to program management status, when you get to VP status, and especially with somebody like you, you have a family, you want to spend more time with your family than you do at the office. Correct me if I'm wrong.
That is true, even though my office is right here, but
Right. But most people can't say that work for a corporation, especially once they get to the management levels and division level. Managing a specific division, they got to spend more time at the office in a lot of instances, and so it was a financial freedom thing for me at the end of the day. And then two, it's a lifestyle because having your own business. Owning a business is a lifestyle. Being a boss is a lifestyle. It's not a job. So and you're on call 24/7, 7 days a week. But if you're passionate about it, you never really feel like you're working. I'm passionate about being a real estate owner. I'm passionate about my podcast. I'm passionate about travel. So those are the main reasons why I wanted to start my own business. You know me. I'm a humble guy. It's not about looking like a baller. A baller to me is not ever having to worry about working again and be able to spread the knowledge base so other people can adopt that same mindset, if you know what I mean.
nah, exactly.
So, because you share that mentality with your brethren, and they're going to prosper at the same time. I mean, Damon Jazz said it great. And the reason why I keep mentioning his name, because I just saw a video with him with Dr. Royce Watkins. And I forgot that not only did he put on Jay-Z, but he put on Lee Daniels. He put on Kevin Hart, and you already know about the dispute that they got going right now, and it's just hilarious in itself. So he put on Kevin Hart.
he said this thing, and I love this, and I wish more CEOs would adapt this mindset. He said, I put people on to the point where I didn't have them dependent on me. I turned them independent, so they didn't have to be dependent on me, and so that they could continuously spread that message with the people that work for them.
Right.
Because he said it best. The corporate mentality is so you can continuously be dependent on your employer. Because an employer doesn't want you to be independent, because if you are, then you become that employer's competition.
It's the same thing like with Master P when he was doing when No Limit was on the rise. He didn't because back then just same thing with Rockefeller. Instead of trying to get your artists all their royalty checks, everything like that, he put them on to the point like, hey, you're gonna have 2 or 3 businesses when it's all said and done. So even if your music doesn't work, you still got something to hop on after. And actually, there's one main person that took that and ran with it, and that's Snoop.
Thank you. Thank you. And a lot of people don't realize that, because Snoop has given Master P, a.k.a. Percy Miller, a lot of credit in regards to the business sense and savvy that he's learned. His mentors, in a sense, was Master P and Dr. Dre when it came to business. And a lot of people don't realize that. It's like you said, and he's still, people can love or hate Snoop all they want to, but Snoop is just, because of that mentorship, Snoop is a very smart businessman.
And he put a lot of people on too.
Exactly. The fact that he's still relevant in 2018 says a lot about Snoop Dogg.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, it's just, the list goes on and on.
Yeah, and then back with Dame, there's also one thing actually you heard in an interview, actually probably the same interview you listened to with Dr. Boyce Watkins. He said a circle of success. And
yes.
That's definitely one thing. It's actually kind of funny because we were doing the same thing with a lot of our other friends as well. We didn't even realize it. Well, we didn't have millions of dollars. We're working on that, but
right.
Back then, we may have maybe a couple hundred here and there, and one of our friends, he might be, or should even myself, like, hey, I don't got enough money for this, whatever. We'd be like, all right, well, I got 10 here, all right, I got 15 here, I got 20 here.
Right.
That builds up. Up. So when he said that, it just brought me back when we were younger, when we were maybe doing work in fast food or even just even cutting the grass. We may have had that money, but when we all put it together, like, okay, you may have had this money, well, guess what? I'll take a little bit of mine that's not hurting my pockets. You can have that little share. Other friend like, okay, got the same thing, and then we all come out, have a little balance. Okay, now we go have fun.
Exactly.
So when he said that, it made so much sense. Like, okay, well, why not? We got to do this business. So going into that, when you decided to start your business, and I know I get this a lot as well. What were your reactions or experience from their peers? Because I know when I asked to start, when I said I'm going to start a business, they looked at me like, you? What type of skills you got? You ain't ready for no business. You ain't got no money for that. So those reactions I had. What about you when you had your reaction?
Well, the saddest thing, and I love that question. The saddest thing in the African American community is that we stress more about getting a job than we do becoming a business owner. So when it comes, and you know what I'm talking about, when it comes to us, because the reaction I got was, well, why would you want to give up your government job? I'm like, because it's not 1975 anymore. There's other opportunities out here. I don't think there's anything wrong with just wanting to have a job, but you need to have something on the side because that job can run out.
Oh, yeah.
We live in an automated world. Jobs come and go like that. Okay? Forget jobs going overseas. Jobs disappear because of the advancement of technology. I tell people, you ever heard of robotics? Automation? It's not just a thing. It's existing and it's growing.
Yeah,
and the people in the future economy are going to benefit because the owners are going to benefit, not the workers. Period. I don't care, and I tell people, and I say it on all my podcasts. I don't care who the president is. I don't care what party runs Congress. At the end of the day, the people that are going to benefit in the future economies, not just of America, but just of the West in general, are the people who are the owners of the buildings, the houses, the lands, and the businesses. Period.
That's definitely true. Especially with the automation. I'm actually starting to see that now at my job and stuff like that. So
Exactly.
So and me having an IT background, that is very, very true. So
Yeah.
it's
You know that more than anybody else.
who you telling?
You know, but people just it's like it's an old mentality. It's like if you go to those old coal mining towns and you go to those old factory towns, they had their jobs disappeared. One because of the benefits that the companies were getting in regards to just shipping the jobs out and contracting it to foreign governments and to foreign companies. One, and then two, that them doing that increased their profit margins. You know, that's what I say. Everybody always blames Bill Clinton because of the whole NAFTA thing. I said it happened before NAFTA. That bill just made things easier for companies to do it.
Oh yeah.
And the people, nobody just sits down instead of just pointing their fingers and blaming it at the government, or blaming it at a party. Why don't you just say to yourself, okay, look, that generation is gone. Let's move forward. What can we do now, and what can we do tomorrow? Because you know better than I do, Chris. It's about the level of thinking. And it's about a level of network. And if you're around a bunch of people that still are trying to figure out why jobs are disappearing, especially from a factory job perspective and from a coal mining job perspective in 2018, then there's something wrong with that circle that you're in. And the thing, and growing up in the DMV for a good portion of your life, the mentality here is military and federal government. Is there anything wrong with that? No, but if you're 100% dependent on that all the time in 2018, I find that to be very problematic because a government job can disappear, a contractor job can disappear, and the military can, and they're talking about this already, the military having to shrink their numbers because they're not going to need as many bodies in the future, because of robotics, because of cyber warfare, because of, more and more warfare happening with machines instead of people. The manpower for a lot of things are just not going to be needed within the next 20 to 30 years if people it's not clicking in their minds.
Yeah, that is true. So it's like you gotta have a definitely a plan B, plan C, and all the way down to plan Z. You gotta have those backup plans because plan A is not gonna cut it. And firsthand from me, actually back in what, 2010, almost all the way to 2011, I was actually one of those fortunate people not to have a job because of things had changed in a certain way. So I was like going to school for my IT degree, but I was also doing like almost manual labor to the point that they didn't need me. They asked me to change my position from one position to another, and when I said I didn't want to do it, then they basically said, "Okay, your service is no longer needed. Goodbye." So.
And you're speaking from experience.
Oh yeah.
This stuff can happen, and that's what it just boggles my mind that because people, the comfort zone, it's a death sentence.
Mm-hmm.
It is today. It darn sure will be in the next 20 and 30 years. And people still operate under this facade of a comfort zone. If I got a good paying job, then everything's good and nothing bad can happen. And they don't want to live in the real world where, there's a reason why most people have a side hustle of some sort. But then it always goes back to what are you doing with that money, that extra money? Are you just spending it on crap? Are you letting it sit in a savings account to where it's barely collecting anything? You're actually losing money on it? Or are you actually putting it into investments and into assets that's going to eventually grow so that having a job becomes an option?
It's actually, you just brought up another thing that's going to actually go into our next question. It's basically about comfort zone. So when you started your business started from the beginning to where you're at right now, what are the things have you done to like what have you been doing to get yourself out of your comfort zone?
Okay, so the main things I've done to go outside of my comfort zone is one, looking for mentorship because I know that I can't do it all on my own. But because first you got, in order to really get to where you want to get to in life, especially when it comes to business, you need to find the people that have done what you've done. Okay, one. Two, I've gone to seminars, and I've paid to go on to seminars to be around, to network and find the people that have done the real estate investments, that have done the travel industry, that have done the podcast. I've gone to these different events. I've gone to states where, a great example, I went to Salt Lake City, Utah to go to a YouTubers conference.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Yeah, I did this last year. It was a real quick trip. You know, it's kind of one of those. I found out about it. I bought the plane ticket, and then 2 days later, I went.
Actually, it's
So
kind
the
of funny.
trips.
It's kind of funny. You just said that. So let me get this straight here. This is another one I got to big you up on. So you had a YouTube conference you went to. Basically, spur of the moment, you just found out about it. You bought yourself a plane ticket, flew out to the conference, and came back. Now, let me ask you a quick question on this one, and this is going to be something
Sure.
that a lot of people are going to be surprised about.
Uh,
Did you use your travel agency to get those tickets?
I did.
So basically, you wrote yourself a check and you're paying yourself right back.
Exactly.
See, that's smart.
And given it, like you said, because in a sense, that whole trip was tax deductible.
See, that's smart. That's a double smart right there.
You know, and you know that when you have your own business, that's one of the perks. Majority everything that you do, for the most part, is tax deductible. You know, and the crazy thing was, I was the only brother at the conference.
Really?
And that goes back to going outside of your comfort zone. Not to say that there's not black people in Utah, because there are,
Yeah.
but how many do you know? And it's not, I'm nobody special. I'm just saying that'll just go off the spur of the moment and do something like that for their business. You know. Now I know people that will do that when it comes to like a football game, you know, or a basketball game, you know. But what are the chances? What are the risks you're willing? Because, you know, being a business owner, you have to be willing to take a risk.
Oh yeah.
It might work out. It might not work out. But, you know, when you walk outside of your house, you have a chance of being killed for any reason anyway. So why not take the great conscientious risk for your own business? You know, and that goes back to what you were just saying, the whole comfort zone. You know, I went to a state that I knew nothing about, didn't know anybody there, but I was adamant to get this information and to be around YouTubers who make millions of dollars a year or hundreds of thousands of dollars a year off of the channel. And then I found out the different systems that they utilize in order for them to double, sometimes quadruple their money that they receive from their channel. They've developed their own schools. They developed their own corporations. They've teamed up with other YouTubers to develop their own companies. You know, the list goes on and on. And then I found out, this goes into one of the videos I made about Americans moving to foreign countries. I found out half of these YouTubers live in Southeast Asia or Central America. They're all Americans. Some of them even have families, but they don't live in the United States, because they tell me, I only make $100,000 off my YouTube channel, but I live in not Thailand, but Taiwan. I live in Taiwan, so my $100,000 a year is like making $6 million a year because I live in Taiwan. You know, I maintain a small house somewhere in the United States, but I have a gigantic house in Taiwan. You know, and they're like, and I was like, well, you plan to stay there forever? They said, no, this is only like a 5 to 10 year thing, because then with the amount of money that we're saving, you know, we can come back to the U.S. where one, we're able to create more businesses.
Right.
Two, there's actually communities throughout Southeast Asia and Central America that consist of Americans who are doing the same thing.
That's pretty amazing. I didn't even think of that.
I didn't even realize that this was a big thing that was occurring until I went to this conference. That was just one of the things I learned, but that just boggled my mind, because they're playing the money game in the right way.
Yeah, that's actually pretty amazing. I know, just watching a few YouTube videos just on cars, and I think one of the guys, he actually lives in the Houston area. He just broke he broke the 100,000 subscriber limit, or subscriber views and everything like that. They gave him a bronze YouTube award. So it was pretty cool. But then I went to this website, Social Boom, and Social Boom actually shows you, okay, the YouTube channel. It tells you on a could be a daily, weekly, or monthly rate on how much advertisement is coming through there. And this man that broke 100,000, I'm like, wow, on a yearly basis, just off those videos alone that he's been doing for, I think, 4 years, he now makes over 50,000 a month just off of that. And I'm like,
there you have
wow, that's and all he doing is just talk about his passion in his car. So, and the one thing about me, like I said, get out of your comfort zone. Like, this right here is I'm not the best speaker. So this right here alone is getting me out of my comfort zone. Okay.
That's a great point that you make, because just me starting to make these videos, that was another form of me getting outside of my comfort zone, But I think the best thing when it comes to getting outside of your comfort zone, you turn off the high school factor in the back of your mind. And when I call that, because I'm guilty of this, so that's why I say it. The high school factor is worrying about what people are going to think and worrying about what they're going to say.
True. True.
Because if you're not, I always look at it like this. Well, heck, you're not really contributing to my life, so why am I going to worry about what you think or say? Especially if you're going to give me something, nothing but negative and derogatory comments at the end of the day. I just look at that as you're as an internet troll. I'll delete you and ban you from my site, and we'll move forward. Because it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody can truly be successful in their life if they're always worried about being in the comfort zone. The comfort zone is a death sentence.
Yeah.
I always say business people have a mind of a person who immigrants to the United States. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Hold on 1 second. Give me 2 seconds. So anyways, you were saying, sir? Sorry about that.
Nah, it's okay.
I always have my dogs with me.
No, I understand. Like, I'm about to say, I got my dogs. They're actually away because, one of them's a Great Dane, so his barks should be louder than anything. So, got to keep him away from the office as much as possible.
Absolutely.
So, what's your business and everything that you're doing to get your business very successful? Like, what's your motivation? What gets you inspired to achieve the stuff you're doing right now?
The main thing that inspires me the most is a lot, because this isn't talked about a lot in the news, and just probably reminds me why I don't watch the news a lot. Most people are living a life that they have to constantly take a vacation from. You know what I mean? At one point, I was living a life that I had to constantly take a vacation from. If you set up your businesses to the point where you don't have to worry about it on a regular basis, and it's kind of like that book, The 4-Hour Work Week, where when you get up and you just have to check a couple emails, make a couple phone calls, maybe take a couple trips throughout the week, but you're not punching the clock, working 8 to 10 hours a day for somebody else and making them richer. That feeling of success to me is what motivates me and gets me out of bed every day to do what I'm doing and do what I consistently want to do. It's like, great example. Last weekend I went to Pennsylvania to look at properties and check out mentorship and whatnot. And it was a great trip. Wouldn't trade it for the world. Pennsylvania is not my most favorite state to go to, but economically speaking, it's a gold mine because there's a multitude of properties that one can buy at $35,000 to $40,000, and they can and then obviously the cash flow on each property is tremendous, and it exceeds what the property is actually worth, because you have a multitude of renters. There's more renters in that part of Pennsylvania that I went to last weekend compared to homeowners.
Okay.
So it's kind of a more of a buyer's market. It's not a seller's market. So that works for real estate investors like me that just want to buy properties and rent them out so you can get monthly cash flow, But and that's because just think of it like this: if I could get up every day and not have to worry about going to work and just worry about my properties and just do my podcast and vacation business, to me that's a little piece of paradise.
Now you said Now you said something about the 4-Hour Work Week. Actually, I have that book too. Actually, I got plenty of books, but that's one of them I've been reading and stuff like that. It's very inspirational, and just the tips that I got into the books. Actually, I can't say it's helping me out where I need to be at right now, because obviously the one thing they did talk about is if you could try to work remotely from home. I'm already doing that.
Right.
So now I'm actually now using extra stuff like virtual assistants, finding a contractor to handle what I need to do for my task for my businesses. So
Exactly.
with that being said, what are the books that you read that get you inspired or get you motivated to handle what you want to do, or even just read one of those books and it's like, opens your mind to a different experience or a different idea that you never even thought about?
Okay. Well, the first book was Rich Dad Poor Dad,
Mm-hmm.
because that book obviously talked about do you consider majority of the things in your life to be assets or liabilities? You know, and it's like so that really just changed my mindset in the sense like, okay, well, what are liabilities? What liabilities do I have in my life, and how can I cut them out? And then what assets do I have in my life, and then how can I increase my assets in order for me to not only work for money, but to let money work for me? You know, so between that, the 4-hour work week, and then of course Dr. Claude Anderson's book, I forgot the Powernomics.
Okay. Oh, yeah,
I knew that word was on the I knew that book was on the name of that book was on the tip of my tongue. But yeah, Powernomics. You know, because it's just that one. It's been inspirational to me. I'm reading it for a second time actually right now because I didn't realize how much a lot of African Americans did not try to do things together as a collective, as far as from a financial perspective. You know, how in big groups you don't see us. In our quote, Dr. Boris Watkins, you know, you can get us in a group to do the nay-nay, you can get us in a big group to do the electric slide, but when it comes to getting us in the big groups to make money, it's very hard to just get people motivated enough to just think outside of the box. You know, because it's going to school, we're trained to be workers. It's just that's what the school system makes us.
Yeah.
You know, it trains us, and it's not just African American. It trains everybody to have the mindset of a worker bee. The most successful entrepreneurs out there, they thought outside of the box, and they took the risks, and they lived a lifestyle that people considered to be abnormal. You know, and they were criticized for it. I mean, think of all the greats, from Mark Cuban to Mark Zuckerberg to Bill Gates to Steve Jobs. I mean, the list goes on and on. Even Russell Simmons, even Dr. Dre, even Master P. Everybody, you know, they thought outside the box. I mean, heck, Master P is the only brother in Silicon Valley that's in the video game business. You know,
Yeah,
and then the crazy thing about that, he tried to get basketball players who make millions of dollars a year to buy into the video game industry because he just took the same concept that he had for the record industry, having his own record shop. Remember, he had a record shop before he became a rapper. Back during the day when there were record shops, he took the money that his grandfather gave him during his grandfather's death, and he made something out of it. And look at him today. So he took that same concept to the basketball players, and it's like, hey, we could have a good piece of the pie when it comes to the video game industry because that's one thing that's not going out of style: video game stores. Yeah. He's like, even with all this automation, you still have video game stores on every corner.
You know what's actually
I didn't even think about that.
You know what's actually funny about that when you said video games? I actually remember because I had the game years ago when 50 Cent actually made two of the games.
Yeah, I remember.
Was it Bulletproof and then Blood of the Sands? He made two of those games. Those games actually wasn't bad. I actually enjoyed it. So the fact that Master P's at Silicon Valley doing that, and I'm like, 50 did this. He actually made two games that were very successful. Master P trying to get a piece of the pie by just even with mobile gaming, he's definitely going to be doing something different. It's very interesting how, and I know when it came to the sports industry, Master P didn't do a good job when it came to sports agency. I was comparing outside what Jay-Z doing now with his Rock Nation, but he's still so innovative that he learned from that. And he's moving on, but just a lot of people are not giving him a lot of people in the sports industry are not giving him another chance because of what he did to. At that time, he was Ricky Williams, what he did with his contract. So, obviously, Master P learned from that, and he definitely got better over it. But just that stigma in the background, a lot of people just not focusing with him on that, and that's kind of a sad thing.
It is.
I know for us. Yeah, I'm saying we didn't grow up in like a bad neighborhood, or anything like that. Definitely different compared to where we came from in New York City.
Absolutely.
But just the fact that I know there's been plenty of times where there was actually business opportunities that came up that just opened my mind up, and I'm like, hey, we talked to our friends like, hey, we might want to get into this, and they looked at us like, really, we're not. Like, you barely have money now. What are you talking about? You want to do a business? And I'm like, that's the point.
Exactly.
But
Take the risk.
yeah,
Bet on yourself.
that's
You know.
bet on yourself, and also you put your money where your mouth is. You put your own money up. And that,
Exactly.
and that's very one of the hardest things to do for a lot of people is that when you want to start your business, but you don't want to put your own money up. When you put your own money up,
Exactly.
like you said, when you put your own money up, you're already taking a risk right there. You put your own money up, you're not getting it back. So you might as well try your best to make it work. And if it doesn't work, you learn from it and you go on to better pastures. If you lose your money and you don't learn from it, you're gonna make the same mistake over and over again. I I did a lot of things I tried that I spent and
Same here.
I never got it back.
Exactly. But you bet it. But the thing is, you took the risk and you bet on yourself. And I think at the end of the day, that's the most important thing. One has to be willing to bet on themselves. Okay? People spend so much time talking about these athletes and what they're doing, and they'll even place bets, financial bets on them, people who they've never met and will never meet. But when it comes to them betting on themselves, they are scared.
And that's
You know, and that fear becomes a prison. They don't, I mean, eventually a lot of people that we grew up with are going to be in their 50s and 60s and are going to wish that that they betted on themselves when they were in their 20s and 30s.
Yeah,
because they're going to they're going to realize when they get that age, I don't care how much they might have in their 401k, IRAs, or whatever, it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, it's not. And the thing about it is, the IRAs and the 401ks, they're not supposed to be just our only source of income. It's supposed to be like your support, but it's supposed to help you get to where you want to be at. So I know, like I said, obviously you got a 401k, I got a 401k, but what I've been doing is because of the fact that I was doing research on everything like that, I didn't have the means at the time to go to let's say E-Trade or Betterment. I actually was using Stash. Well, now they got a website, but it was a web application at first, and it only cost me at the time to set up an account or get some stocks in there. It's like only like $5. So I started.
Same here.
So I started doing that, but also I went to Robinhood, where Robinhood is the same thing as that, but except for doing like your Vanguard, you actually can pick individual stocks. So
exactly.
I've been reading I've been reading a few books. Actually, I think I sent you the book as well. What's it called?
You did. I've been checking it out. I've great, lot of great information in there.
The Big Book of Incomes I sent out. I sent you the PDF version of it, but just by reading that alone, I just actually got a few stocks that on Robinhood. That's these stocks actually been created by the government that I've been using, and just the obviously those stocks, they're not expensive. They make like one of them prime numbers like $15 a share, but after every 3 months, 3 months you get this a quarterly review, and if things work out, you get a dividends. You get like you get money back. So so that's what I've been doing. I've been just putting money into these stocks where if things go well, which it has, I get a little bit of dividends back where I could just either I can put it in my pocket or put it back to my stocks. So obviously, I don't have a lot of shares in those stocks just to go bring me like $1,000 of dividends where I can put in my pocket, but it's starting to add up.
Exactly.
And so once it starts so I'm now starting to see how it adds up. I'm looking at my account. I'm looking at my account right now. I'm like, holy cow! I didn't know I had that much. It just started It started adding up. So, and another thing I also been looking into as well. Like I said, you get your real estate company, everything like that. I can't wait for you to get that up and running. Get your website for that, so I could do some more research and also put my support into it as well. But in the meantime, I also been looking at this application called Fundrise.
Yep, I know you're talking about.
I've been looking at that. I'm like, I'm actually just click on it real quick because there's actually.
Yep, I invested in that last month.
Yeah, I'm looking at that too. Like they got like prime example, single family home renovation in DC.
Exactly.
And projected returns between 6 and 12% returns. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, wow. And I looked at the how much would I have to put my investment in to get started. They said, $500 just to start. I'm like,
Right.
that's it.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
this is what, and this is why the reason why I'm actually saying this right now over this podcast is that people that's afraid to invest in themselves, that afraid to put the money up, or just afraid of that taking that risk. Like it's not that expensive. If you not that
Exactly.
expensive, like okay, maybe I don't have $500 to start Fundrise, but let's
Right.
go start maybe $5 a day in stash. Um, maybe
Robin Hood,
Robin Hood,
Acorn.
Acorn. You start doing that. Once it builds up, then like, okay, now I got enough to take this out. Now let's go to Fundrise. And then
Thank
once
you.
that builds up, we can do other things. So it ain't like okay, it ain't like obviously if we're not born into to money, we have
Right.
to work our way into it. But if you just take just baby steps,
Mm-hmm.
it gets the steps get easier and easier. But your funding, what you have, start increasing as well to the point like okay, now I got 10,000. Let's see what Larry Patterson got with his stuff. He only put 10,000 for this fund. Put 10,000 in his real estate company to build his property. I got 10,000. Let's do it.
Boom. Boom. The power of compound interest is real.
Yeah, let's say.
And the funny thing is, if you're doing it with 10 to 15 people like immigrants do, there's nothing that you cannot do.
And what's funny about that? It goes back to the circle of success.
Boom.
So we get that money, you add it up, put on one property here, that comes back, put another property in, and just like Easy E said it straight out of Compton, let's get this money.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. There was a podcast, Dr. Royce Watkins podcast. This young guy who is our age, he owns property from New York City to New Orleans to Dallas, Texas. He's in our age group. And the funny thing is, he started his company 6 years ago. But what makes it even funnier, he had to do it by himself. He tried to get just like you and I are talking about right now, he had to get all his friends. This is during, matter of fact, no, this is actually during the height of the recession when it was definitely a buyer's market nationwide.
Man, yeah.
Which was the best time to buy property, right? Because that's when I got my house. Okay, he bought a brownstone that had about 5 to 6 units in New York City.
Oh yeah.
Okay, he got it. Yeah, exactly. He got it for $600,000 now, and for New York, that's cheap.
Yeah.
Right? That's cheap. Okay, and it was in fairly decent condition. Just needed a little cosmetic work, like most properties do when you buy them. He had 5 of his friends. He all told him, "Hey man, we all put our money together. We could get this place, and we could get passive income. We all of us can quit our jobs right now. Okay, all we gotta do is all I need you to do is bring X amount of dollars to the table. We'll make it happen." And the sad thing is, they said, "Okay, yeah, we'll do it." 2 weeks later, when it came down to put down the down payment on the place, all of them said, "Oh, I ain't got it." So he had to take out a loan to get the rest of the money. He already had his portion, but he had to get out a loan to get his other friends' portions of the down payment. And to this day, he owns up to almost 12 to 13 properties nationwide. And the funny thing is, they were mad. They were like, "Well, why didn't you tell me about this deal? I mean, look at you now, et cetera, et cetera." He's like, "I told you guys to have the money. You guys were too busy going out doing stupid nonsense. You weren't focused on the task at hand." And now he's profiting from it.
Now, that's a prime example of he trying to paint them the picture and they don't see it.
Exactly. Because they didn't believe in themselves. Or they were scared.
Yeah.
Or they just didn't care. To me, I always say, if you don't want to do something, you'll find an excuse. If you want to do something, you'll find a way. That's how I always look at it.
Yeah,
so they didn't want to do it.
That definitely. I'm actually, like I said, doing that right now in my business. Like there's been times I look like, ooh, I don't know. And it's funny because, like I said, this past Thursday was me and my wife's 4-year anniversary.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And the one thing that she said to me that actually meant the world to me, she's like, "I'm gonna stay by your side no matter what for your business. Just keep going. Just do it. I got you. I got you support." When she said that, I'm like, and she been telling me, but I'm like, okay. So I told her what I want to do. She's like, you ain't got to tell me this. Just do it. I know what you're capable of.
I know that's right.
I'm like, okay. So,
And it's great to have somebody by your side that actually believes in you, because outside of a spouse, that's really hard to find anymore.
yeah, that is.
Especially in friendship, it's like the conversation that we hold on, like the one we're having right now, is a phenomenal conversation, because it's hard to even find the right people to have these sort of conversations with, because when we both of us leave, we end up learning something from one another.
That's true. I'm actually learning a lot through this already, and
Same here.
it's true because like you're painting a picture right now with this interview, and I'm bigging you up for it. And by you just painting those pictures, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing what you're doing. I'm seeing what you're trying to accomplish, and I can tell you right now, man, you're gonna get it in between 5 to 10 years of just doing what you're doing right now. You're gonna get everything that you're gonna deserve because I see the picture you're doing right now.
I appreciate it, man. I really do. I really do.
I really see it.
Yeah, I mean, within the next couple of years, I plan to not only quit my job, but I plan to purchase more properties so that I can not only increase the business, but increase the opportunities for others so that they can get to that same level or even surpass me. You know, it's like Dame Dad said, he creates independence. He does not create dependence. And I'm sure you want to do the same thing for your friends and family. You want to create independent thinkers and independent business owners.
Actually, you know what's funny about that? I was actually going to ask you that question, but you're already doing that right now. So, like, your end goals, or like, what's the end results? What you're trying to do, and you already explained that right now. You just want to build your business up, but you also want to make sure that you what was it? What was it? Damon Jones actually said this. He don't want to give out handouts. He want to give hands up.
Hands up.
So
Exactly.
and actually, we have the same goals. We want to get our business going, but at the same time, we have friends. Actually, your friends are my friends because we all lived in the same neighborhood for so many years.
Exactly.
That we both know what type of skills level that they do. Like, I mean, one of our friends that we know dearly, he's actually got his accounting degree. So and obviously we already know he's always good with money. Sometimes sometimes he's a little stingy with it, but we know why. But he's always been good with the money.
Absolutely.
So my end goal is, I know, and as soon as I say it, you're probably gonna shake your head as well, because that's the same thing you want to do as well. Is that I'm not the I am good with making money, earning money. Sometimes if it's for the right cause, spending the money. But when it comes to
Right.
put it in a different cause and make sure we maintain that, my goal is to build my business up, but have that same friend that we both know, let him handle the
Yes.
books. He does the accounting,
There you go.
handle the books. Like here, I got, let's say I bring in, I got $150,000 right now. I'm willing to give you 40 right now. You handle my books, and then you start building your accountants up. I'll help, because since my business is a consultant business anyway, I'm gonna give you 40,000 to be on your feet, but I'm also going to help you get your accounting business going as well. So I'm gonna put
There you
right
go.
in your place so you have your own accounting firm. And I know for you, you're gonna probably have, by that time, you probably have like $6-7 million anyway.
One can only hope, right?
So you're gonna be like, hey, I know you just started your accounting business. You got your own accounting agency. I want to be one of your clients. You watch my books as well. Here's my fees. Now he's watching just our two books. He's watching our money.
Exactly.
Just us two alone. He's now successful. He now got his own accounting agency. Now he's able to look like, okay, I got two clients. I want to bring more in, but it's too much work. Let me go hire some more people in. Now he got an agency.
There you go.
Bring more people in. So that's my
There
end
you
goal,
go.
is to get other people in. And at the same time, two of our other friends that actually got their own podcast going on. I'm actually telling them.
I know you're talking about.
I'm actually telling them, go buy the cameras. Actually, like I said, I guess I could say his name because he's actually getting married in July. So
Right.
one of the gifts I'm actually going to bring him. I'm not sure if it's his wife's going to like it or not, but I'm actually going to give him a webcam. I'm actually going to get him for his wedding gift. I'm actually going to get him the webcam to start a webcam and private microphones to go ahead and get his podcast with video footage, not just audio but also video. So
Right.
and from there, I'll show him all the programs he need to do for recording, editing. Like me doing this right now, I'm still fairly new at it as well, but it's
Right.
getting easier every day doing it. So I might as well show him because he got a core group of followers that follow their page. Let's go get some video behind it and bring more into it, and I'll be happy to continue to promote their stuff. I mean, heck, I'll go ahead and interview them as well, and
There you go.
bring them over. So it's like you said, it goes back to the circle of success. We start.
Yes.
They see us doing good. We're gonna bring them in. They're gonna do good, and we all could have our own private island or something, just chilling.
There you go.
Courtesy.
We could be we could sit on the ocean, with a cigar in our mouth and just say, "Look what happened."
Flying on private jets, courtesy of the travel agency.
Exactly. And that is, like you said, it's all about. At the end of the day, it's all about the mindset.
Yes, it is.
If they have the right mindset, if they see it, I guess they have to see it to believe it in a sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and and the one thing about us that we like I said, we cut for the same cloth. We got good hearts. At the same time, we're not no suckers or anything like that.
Right.
So when they see us be successful, they ask us, "Man, what do you do?" We're not gonna just turn our backs on them or anything like that. Actually, I'm gonna bring this up. This actually it's actually kind of a crazy moment that I had in my life that I had to realize I had to make a choice about
Right.
this group of people and that group of people. And
Right. Right.
when I made that decision, I'm not going back on it. But it was crazy. It was
Right.
actually I can say a certain thing. I'm not gonna say no names or anything like that. But it was a situation that happened at my church years ago back in Virginia, and one of the fellas got caught up in a bad situation, everything like that. And
Oh, is that right?
yeah, bad situation. But I understood the reason why he did it. But
Why is that?
well, the situation was that his parents were short of money and everything like that, so he wanted to go do some. He had to hustle to get that money in. So he wasn't doing it just because he wanted to. He had a reason to do so. But the youth pastors at the time, they were telling me, stay away from this person right here. I see the potential in what you could do. Stay away from
Right.
these people here. Matter of fact, all your friends in your same neighborhood, they're not. We don't see no promises for them. Stay away from them. And I'm like, I can't do that. Like, these are almost like my families and stuff.
Right.
Matter
Right.
of fact, not almost. They are my family. I can't turn my back
Right,
on them
yeah.
because if something goes wrong,
Oh, yeah.
something bad happens to me, I know to be around. I can't say that for you.
Right.
So I had to make a choice.
Exactly.
And honestly, that choice right there is something that I won't regret because, like I said, you're my brother for 25 years. How can I turn my back on you after everything that we've been through and stuff like that? Same with
Exactly.
everybody else. I can't turn my back on that stuff. Like, honestly, you guys, directly, indirectly, helped mold my life to where I am right now. So
And the feelings mutual.
yeah, so when we get our business going, we get to the point that hey, we don't have to work at a 9 to 5 or in my case 6 to 3.
Right. Yeah, same here. 6-2 for me.
Yeah, so
yeah, I understand.
Yeah, so-
I understand, and that's the right mindset right there.
yeah, that's
You
the
know?
thing. Like once we get that going, like you know what? Yeah, I didn't see the picture earlier. You see it now. Come on, I got you. We're gonna get you going.
Exactly.
You got
Exactly.
personal skills that I know you're good at. Let's get it started up. We can make a few phone calls here, do a couple of Googles and everything like that, and we're gonna bring
Exactly.
and since because I know I could bring a lot of traffic, a lot of people to your website. I could build your website in that way. Let's get it going.
There you go.
And then when you have any problems in the future, we go talk that out then. But let's get you started and get you going.
Absolutely. And I'm glad that you said that because it's the thing. They're stuck around a lot of people who have that old mentality of thinking, at their current jobs, the people that they're surrounded by. So it's at the end of the day, it's like I mentioned earlier in this video, the mentorship, the leaving the comfort zone, the being around people that aren't in the DMV. You know, it sounds volumes, but it might sound small, but it's to me it speaks a lot big volumes, because when you're around people that think differently, live differently, and do things differently, then your life can turn out differently. Your mindset can change differently. And a lot of the people that we grew up with, they're still surrounded by this DMV culture to where they don't want to think outside of the box sometimes. Or if they do, then they're around people that kind of slap that thinking down, if you know what I mean. Like you said earlier, I want to create a business, and they're looking at you like, man, you barely got any money. What do you mean you're going to create a business? Right. Are you out of your mind? You know, they look at you like you're the one that needs a straitjacket, but you don't realize that you're mentally free, and you're just trying to mentally free them at the same time, so that we can buy those private islands, so we can have those private jets, so we can quit the 9-to-5s, so we can think differently and be more prosperous, and then help out our other friends and families, and let them see the vision, and continuously have that cycle, and then adopt that same cycle to the kids of now and to the kids of the future.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Like,
because that if nothing needs to change, that needs to change.
I mean, I look, just alone, and it's funny because just me leaving Virginia to move down to Texas, I actually grown so much to be the person I am right now, and that was the ultimate getting out your comfort zone, like leaving my whole family up there in Virginia to be down here to be with my now 4 years into my marriage with my wife.
There you go.
I said, because of that, I got a beautiful wife, got a beautiful daughter. I got this house with my daughter drawings on the walls, everything.
I see them.
I can honestly say, and even the job that I have right now is actually paying me more than I ever made before in Virginia anyway. So it was right there from leaving what I had a good life in Virginia down to being an uncertainty in Texas. And now look where I'm at, and now I'm like, okay, now I'm ready to get my business going. Now I'm ready to show people what's up. So it's just amazing. Like, I've really been down here for 4 years, and just the growth of me being 4 years, I'm like, okay. And it went by so fast. I'm like,
it goes by fast, doesn't it?
What's going to happen?
You know.
Now I told my wife, what's going to happen with us within the next 5 years? She said, well, in 5 years, I better be at every different island you could think of. So now I got to make that happen.
Well, see, but just telling your story right there speaks volumes, and it's inspirational, because if it doesn't allow them to see that, because that's the thing, they should see you're leading by your example. You're not just talking about it, you're being about it, one. Two, and it like you said, leaving your comfort zone, look what you did.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, look what you did. Look what I'm about to do. I'm moving across the country as well. You know,
I can't wait.
And I can't wait. I'm not even here. Like I said, mentally I'm there. So mentally I'm in California already. So because I'm ready. I'm ready for a different mindset, to be around a different mindset, and to be around people who think and do things differently, just like you are right now. And because given the fact that you're down there right now, you've grown, and you're growing, and you're learning more and more than you probably ever would being stuck here in Northern Virginia.
Yeah, I can't wait for you to go to California. You've been talking about that for years, so...
I have. I'm actually tired of talking about it. So, to the point where I'm just like, let's just sell this house and go. I'm ready to just pack up the wagon and go, because... And the thing is, like, when our friends went down to San Antonio to visit you, they got to see a different mindset. They got to see a different lifestyle.
Yeah, and they all,
correct me if I'm wrong.
They did, and they also know not to be outside most of the day either.
Because he caught up with them.
I told them next time they want to come down here, they come down here in like March or April. Don't come down here in July, because you're gonna burn up.
But they had to learn the hard way.
But hey, man, we got to get going, man. Once again, thank you for coming on to the Spread the Knowledge. like I said, y'all have been my brother since day one. Actually, to be honest with you, I think you were actually the first for me moving from. I guess I could say it from the south side of Woodbridge to the north side of Woodbridge. If you're going by I-95 status, yes, that is.
Yeah, that's considered the South Side.
But moving up there, you
Yeah.
actually have been like you've been my first friend. You still my friend, my brother. You always help me out with everything, stuff like that. Also got me messed up with those Silver Surfers.
Oh my God, I can't believe you remember that.
But it always
so long ago.
But it's always been a fun time, man. Like I said, my family will be up there in mid-July anyway, so definitely get a hold of you. We'll meet up and link up to have a good time. We're gonna have everybody around and stuff like that, so it's all gonna be a good thing. But once again, man, thank you for coming on to the show. You're my brother, man.
No problem.
Appreciate everything that you've done. I'm proud of you for everything that you're doing and what's going to happen in the future, man. And obviously, we're going to keep in touch always with that, man. So
absolutely. Thank you again and for having me, and you inspire me just as well. And you keep up the good work down there. And Texas and California, we're going to unite.
All right, everybody.
Take it easy, my brother.
Everybody, and just stay on real quick. Okay. For everybody else, this has been another episode of Spread the Knowledge. You have a good day. I'm actually planning on working on getting another person onto my podcast. I just spoke with her earlier today about it. She's actually in line, actually writing movies now. So I can't wait to get her on and everything like that. But until then, talk to y'all later.
Hello, family. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. That was my first ever interview, and I thank Christopher Edwards, whose company you should check out called Reaching Out Consultants. He did it on his channel, and once I saw that video last night, I just did a reflection, and I was like, definitely have to just look back and appreciate the journey that I was on then. And it's for the most part still the same. Things have changed, obviously, because, you know, as you grow in business and whatnot, your mindset changes continuously. The people you interact with, engage with, change continuously. I'm glad I still have the pleasure to engage with Christopher Edwards of the Reaching Out Consultants brand continuously. So I'm definitely humbled by that first interview. Talk about who I am, what I'm about, you know, really introducing me. Because, you know, when I got started, like most people do on YouTube, they're winging it, you know, and they're just going by the seat of their pants. And I've gotten a lot more educated since that time frame, and I will continuously be educated, you know, and be humbled, and want to engage with you all from a regular basis, because even if we never meet, that's the beautiful thing of social media. Let's socialize on YouTube, on Facebook. Let's have conversations. And it doesn't need to be negative. It needs to be positive and prosperous, because if anything hasn't taught us anything about today's pandemic, is you better appreciate every single freaking day you're alive, and better appreciate every single freaking day that you have your loved ones with you, because you just never know. One thing. Two, when it comes to your goals, no matter what may slow you down, always continuously fight for them. You see in the background here, this is beautiful Riverside, California, and this is home. This is my Mecca, in a sense. This is my heaven. You see beautiful mountains. You see has a downtown area, so it's got a little city feel to it. It's surrounded by suburbs and desert and things of that nature. And LA is 45 minutes to an hour away. San Diego's about almost 2 hours away. So that's my little piece of paradise. That's my little Mecca for all the drama, the goods and the minuses and pluses that might be associated with this specific part of the country. Anywhere in the world you go is going to have the pluses and the minuses and whatnot. You know, but to hear this is perfect to me. This is home to me, and this is what it's all about. The hard work and all the energy goes towards seeing this every day, you know. So let me know what your why is, and if the last couple of years you feel like you haven't been able to move forward, tell me what's holding you back, you know, because at that time what was holding me back was a job. Now what's making me move forward is entrepreneurship, and that's the main reason why I got into business, is because when you make money moves on your own and you don't wait on other people to do it for you, your life will end up being in a better direction. And when I say make money moves, it's not about being fancy and flashy and all that other crap that don't mean nothing after you buy it. It's all about being able to wake up to a life that I always say you don't have to take a vacation from. I put a post on Facebook today, and I said, you know, it's best to pay for a lifestyle than to always constantly pay because nothing wrong with going on vacation, but to always constantly pay to go on vacation. Because if you're always doing that, then there's some escapism going on, and people have to really analyze that, you know. But hey, I love to go on vacation, love to go to places I've never seen before. I mean, like 4 years ago, I've never been to Riverside. I fell in love, and I was like, this is it. So you just never know, right? So always remember to stay prosperous, stay humble. You know what I mean? And do your best to always make money moves, as I always like to say. And obviously, if you want to check out the Care Bars International family, we buy gold, we save it, we refer others. Only thing you pay is if the gold that you want to buy or the packages you want to purchase. Signing up is free, so check us out. And as always, remember, you can't get fired if you own the company. It's 2020 and it's time for us to own something, all right? Take care, family, and have a great day.